A tow truck owner fears for his life every time he's called by the feds. He tells us he works hand in hand with them on valley raids.
Channel 5's Frank McCaffrey spoke to him about the dangers of the job. Frank?
Oscar, the tow truck company owner who only identified himself as Jake, says over the last 18 years he's had a gun pulled on him 3 times. He knows well when he's called out for a raid, he has to take precaution. In his line of work, Jake says he finds himself in hairy situations almost daily.
Picking up cars, that are belong to certain people that maybe don't want their cars picked up. So yeah, there's dangers.
He says he's one of just a handful of towing companies licensed to take law enforcement calls. The Texas State Incident Management License authorizes tow companies to assist local and federal law enforcement agencies during raids. Jake says even with law enforcement present during the raids, he still takes the extra step in purchasing insurance for himself and employees. He also has to remind himself and his staff to be vigilant.
It's always nerve-wracking because, especially with how close we are to the border, you just don't know who people are connected with.
Jake adds over his years in the business, he knows when to say no.
It's not worth it at the end of the day, the price you're going to get paid to tow a vehicle or to repo a vehicle for your safety.
Channel 5 News reached out to law enforcement in Jake City to find out how it handles hiring tow truck companies for its cases. We were assured tow truck drivers are safe. Officers are almost always on the scene when wreckers arrive. We learned police have a rotation of tow truck companies locally that call for raids such as these. Now, law enforcement tells us in order for these tow truck companies to be used by police in the state, they must be licensed by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. In order to be licensed, a company's trucks must pass a state inspection. Live in the Channel 5 News studio, Frank McCaffrey, Channel 5 News at 6.